trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record,
for the record.
I love that song. That
Me
song
too.
is so cool, dude.
It just matched so perfectly when I put it together. So
it's awesome, dude. For the record, I'm gonna make you all uncomfortable. That's what it's supposed to be about. I love it. I love it.
That's why I was like, when I found it and I put it together, I was like, bro, this is it. This is it. This is the moneymaker right here.
Yep. What's up, bro? Good morning.
Good morning. Still trying to wake up, I think. I don't even know.
It's another day. It's been a great week. It's been a busy week for me. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's been a busy week for you. We got a lot going on. You know, man, I'm happy to be here. The sun is rising. We're alive. We're growing, and we got some cool people on here today, right, brother?
Definitely. Yeah, we got Bianca and Paul from Amerikey, and they're going to be talking about everything to know about breaking in your house. So they're
dude, I don't know if you remember this, but when they first started doing those the jail video videos, I would take screenshots and it'd be pictures of Paul like going into the truck, and I would say, "Look out for this guy. He breaks into vehicles for a living." Listen, I know they're gonna come on here in a minute, man, but I want to preface the whole thing with beautiful husband and wife team, beautiful family, and they're doing everything the right way. That's why we're with them right now. That's why they're coming on today. They're literally doing everything the right way. And what I mean by that is that, you know, they're a small business and they've inserted themselves in the community in such a way where no one's segregated out, man. Like they want come everybody. They love everybody. They're part of the chamber. They're part of this group. They're part of that group. They're doing things the right way, and everyone loves them, man. I mean, and Paul's like this big stud, and his wife's gorgeous, and they're just great. They're great people. They're great people, man. They're great people.
Definitely. And we got a few people on here. I know this is Angel. Angel, if you click that little link above our little deal, that StreamYard, give us permission to show your name.
Yes.
You can see your name. But we got Tyler Hardigan.
Did you hear about what Tyler did last night, bro?
No.
So Tyler.
Oh.
He's my little brother, bro. Last night, Beta Bay Luke, his vehicle broke down in Brandon, and then it broke down again in Wesley Chapel. Tyler, 7:30 at night, he's like, bro, goes out there, changes the starter underneath a puddle. Like, dude, this is the poster story, right? The poster boy of what the right thing to do. Another business owner helping out another business owner. A friend helping out a friend at the end of the day, but that was really cool, Tyler, man. To change the starter for Luke, and Luke did a shout out on the hub. It was pretty cool to see, man. Pretty cool.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yep,
that's what it's about.
Yeah.
We got Amanda on here. Good morning.
There she is. The supporter.
We got Mr. Ron Smith in the house.
Love Ron. Love myself some Ron.
Yeah.
The president of Hub Life Charities, by the way. The president.
Mr. President.
I will sing Marilyn Monroe birthday for Ron any day on his lap in his jacuzzi. Just gonna say.
Tyler says, I'd do the same for you, brother.
Yeah, we know Tyler would. He would do it for anybody. That's you know what I think you heard me say this a lot, Justin. I said a lot of the people in this group I know for a fact. Perfect example, if I was broken down somewhere, it could be 3:00 in the morning. There's a handful of people I could just call within our group, and that will just show up, which is awesome. More so, even I'd call them first before some family members, right? Like that's how close a lot of us are, which is really cool, man.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why we stick to the people in this group, because we know that they have our best interests at heart, and we'll show up at any time that we we need something. It doesn't always have to do with business. Sometimes on a personal level.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just go ahead and bring Bianca and Paul in.
Let's bring it on. I hope everyone's ready for greatness, because it's about to happen when he pushes that button. Because here comes the greatness.
Ready?
There we go. There's greatness. It's greatness. It's greatness.
That was a nice intro. Thank you.
Yes.
Look at them. It's perfection. It's just perfection in your screen.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
I was talking about Paul. What are we talking about here?
Oh, yeah, take my shine. You know.
He said they.
So, guys, tell everybody who you are, what you're doing, what the plans are. Go.
All right, go ahead.
We are Bianca and Paul. We own Amerikey Locksmith. Our plans are, I don't know, to help everybody in the community.
Yeah.
Locksmithing and anything anybody needs.
Yeah. I think you're a lot more than just locksmiths. Like you said, you're community members. You're people that just truly give back with a true heart, and we're truly grateful for that. It's cool to see you guys, see your family growing and baby. Are we doing any more babies? I mean, we're done with babies now. Are we done?
We don't know yet.
He wants another one.
I want another one. Paul does not.
But
So,
beautiful.
I'm still learning the life balance, family, business. Even though we're the second one in, I'm still like, man,
it's a lot.
it's a job. It's a job.
It is a lot.
This
Well,
is
you
a great,
guys have kids trying to have a business and trying
great
to.
conversation. This is a great conversation. I'm so glad you brought this up. And right before we come on, there's like this little pre-thing where we're all talking, and everyone's like, "What do we talk about?" And there is no plan. I love this. We just go in and we kind of just talk. And what you just brought up is a huge subject that a lot of people are trying to figure out. Balance, man. It is a true thing. So I'm kind of curious, how do you guys balance that? Like, you take turns? Like, tell us how you do it.
Fist fight.
A lot of caffeine. A lot of caffeine.
Mostly over the coffee machine.
Yeah. We drink a lot of caffeine. So, yeah.
Well, I think, nobody really knows too much about all the different businesses that we've done in the past, but there was a lot of separation, between me and Bianca. Bianca would do this and I would do this and whatnot. And this time around, we're like, let's just come together as a unit. Let's go out, do things community-wise, networking-wise. So that way we're kind of all together, good, bad, or otherwise. And then we have at least that relationship. And, and then we also learn, okay, well, now we need to balance the other side of the family, with the kids and whatnot. So, I think coming together, doing things together, and then balancing out, knowing that there's an X amount of time that we got to go and spend time with the kids and spend time with the family, and scheduling that out is super important, because otherwise you get way too caught up in business and or one direction or the other,
Yeah.
You really got to balance it.
So what's so the balancing act? That's everybody's biggest problem in life. But what is it? What does it look like? What's your struggle? What's like something you struggle with as far as like husband and wife? Because like you're together 24/7. So like, what does that look like going into business? Like you're not used to doing that, the 24/7 thing with each other. Sometimes you need a break. I'm not. Sometimes you do, but you do. But. Because you can get on each other's nerves. Like I get on Tiffany's nerves, like probably every other 10 minutes. But like, so how is that like the compromise, all the things that you have to go through going into business and being business partners together? What does that look like for you? And what's something that you've learned to be able to cope with better, I guess you could say?
Well, I mean, it is a lot, but we've been together for 15 years. And prior to this business, we've had other businesses. So we have worked together in the past. So I think us having businesses in the past has taught us how to kind of, do everything together. And then we kind of did separate things, and I was bartending and he was doing this. So then when we got together with this company, we had kids. So that was a whole different ballgame, because we've been together for 15 years, but our oldest is only 4 years old. So having a business with kids is a whole new realm. It's like having 3 businesses in one, like little kids and a business. So basically what I think has helped us is we found something that we both like within the business, and we really both like networking. So that's the one thing we both like doing together. So that's what we do together. Like I do my own thing, he does his own, and then we come together and network. We do a lot of chamber events, a lot of hub events, a lot of BNI events. And we like it. We like talking to people and helping the community. So I feel like if you are partnered with your spouse, you have to find something that you like. Because I mean, locksmithing for me isn't fun and exciting, So
Wait, what?
In case
For
you
you?
know. Yeah. So you have to find something that you both like together and then do that together and make the best of it.
Gotcha. You know, it's like when you say locksmith, and it's like you almost got to channel your inner criminal.
Yes.
I was fun the other yesterday, or was the other day, I forgot what it was. Paul and his wife, they were part of the Christmas in July event, which was really cool. And there's like this closet on State Road 54, and they donated some toys, and they're really cool to be a part of that. But the moral of the story is, it was funny because Paul pulls up, he's like, dude, I locked myself out of my car. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I think you know a guy. I think you know a guy.
Yeah, I am human. I did it.
Oh, that's funny. I would just laugh. I would literally just laugh at myself in that current situation.
Well, we
But,
just came back from Daytona. We were in Daytona,
Oh, yeah.
and he went swimming
With my
with his
keys.
Jeep key.
Yeah.
And he wrote me later, and then we're
I
like,
ruined
"Oh
it.
my God, what are we gonna have our technicians come all the way out to Daytona to do key, or else we can't go anywhere?" So luckily he fixed it, but if not, we would have had to
Oh man, that's
a local
funny.
locksmith in Daytona to get
Oh,
it.
my. He's holding on. He just doesn't like to let the key go. You know what I
That's
mean?
funny.
It doesn't matter.
I'll give a trick. If you have a push to start vehicle and you take, now this doesn't work with all vehicles, but if you total this, which this was completely ruined, but if you put it on a certain angle and actually push the button, it'll sometimes read the key for most Nissan
good.
things like that. So
a
it'll
good
actually
tip.
get you out of an emergency situation.
So that's how we got home.
I knew that, but if I wouldn't have known that, absolutely, I would have had to call somebody, and it would have been really fun.
I'm actually swinging by your place today because, you know, guys, I went on vacation, but I'm getting my keys done from these guys as well. They're getting my old antique car keys done, so I'm really excited about that. They had to order the keys in, so that's really cool. But guys, like, it's not just locksmithing and breaking into cars. Like, I know you're storing security locks for homes. Like, kind of tell us what you do, like the whole genre of what you do.
So, I mean, you know, when we established this company, we wanted to not just specialize in one thing. I know a lot of people like to do that, but my mind is an entrepreneur like yours, Reagan, Justin, you know, we like to do multiple things. So I was able to focus myself within the locksmithing realm, but be able to dab into different things. So, you know, residentially, we do, you know, the electronic keyless is a huge thing right now. A lot of people are going from mechanical to keyless. That gives you the ability to do the codes and control your phone, you know, control the lock by your phone, which is awesome for kids.
Fingerprint stuff too, right? Like, you do fingerprint entries?
Yes. So we do the fingerprint entries as well. So no, we're not really big on that. There's a lot of still failure in that. They still don't have a lot of, testing in that, because the fingerprints are always exposed to outdoor weather, and you always got to sit there and wipe down the machine. And if you don't do that, it doesn't work. So not huge on that yet, but we do that. You know, that is one of the things we do. So that's residentially. I mean, we do safes, we do sliding door locks, which is a huge thing for us. Commercially, we just got into continuous hinges. So we do continuous hinges, door closers, safe installation, rekeys, panic hardware. I mean, there's really not too much commercially we don't dab into when it comes to mechanically with doors and locks now. Again, safes is another sector with breaking in the safes. We do that as well. We do it a different way. A lot of locksmiths like to get out the drill and start hacking in the safes. We don't do that. We actually have relationships with manufacturers, so we save the customer money. We call them. They actually give us a backup code in most instances, so we can go into the safe by just hitting a code, and we don't have to, destruct somebody's safe. So, and then last sector is really automotive. We do car keys, fobs, high security, edge keys, pretty much any year, make, and model. Other than BMWs, and Volkswagens, Mercedes. Those guys do not like locksmiths, so they don't give us a lot of the software capability.
Gotcha. So. All right, so just now, mind you, I'm not a connoisseur in locksmithing, but like Quickset, Schlage, right? You have all these different lock. Like, is there one truly better than the next for safety? I'm curious.
Yes, please throw away all your quick set locks.
Wow.
Well, I mean, in all honesty,
That's going to sue you now, but hey, it's all good.
I mean, I've contemplated on doing a video, and it's one of those wishy-washy gray areas.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can literally, with some quick sets, the smart key locks, I mean, you could literally take a screwdriver, throw it into the cylinder, give it a good yank, and it'll bust the cylinder. I mean, it truly, I mean, that's because they made them where they got rid of the locksmiths and you could actually physically rekey it yourself with a little smart key. So they tried to get rid of us, and in doing so, they made the locks so cheap where they said a screwdriver and I can bust right into that. So definitely not quick sets. Schlage still has the old school cylinders. I know it's old school in that in that stance, but I mean, it is still the best security, best warranty. I mean, Schlage's definitely the way to go.
Well, I mean, if it's created and invented, patented a certain way and it's worked, then, why go away from it, right? At the end of the day, if that product works, it works. And that's why they've been around for such a long time. But in my opinion, and I don't know, stop me if I'm wrong, like I go to Depot, I go to Lowe's, right? And all of a sudden I see a plethora of display of all these new companies, like with safety and smart locks. Like, who are these people? Where do they come from? I mean, maybe they figured, well, Schlage and Kwikset have been the only one in the games forever, and they just came up with their own. So as for those like security system, like wireless security systems, which one is the best one in your opinion?
Again, I mean, Schlage still has the all-around best of everything. I mean,
even with the wireless stuff, even with the tech,
absolutely. Because they have the best. I mean, they have the best firmware too. But if you look at, they're backed by the national and local sheriff department. And that's commercially and residentially. But there are some companies, like you said. I mean, Lockley just came out with a product. It's an all-in-one system. We're kind of just testing out now, but pretty cool. I mean, they took basically a Ring doorbell and a keyless entry with like an ADT system and put it all into one lock. So you walk up now and you actually get video, like you would for a Ring doorbell right on that lock. You get a sensor if the door's opening. So we've been looking at it. I mean, it's pretty cool. And they just went out to, they were at the festival a couple weeks ago. So they're getting recognized. So we're looking at that now. There are some good companies out there, and they actually use the original, old school cylinders and that. So we are looking into Lockley, but Kwikset is still Kwikset. Let's put this together in 5 minutes. I mean,
all right. Here's a question for you. I just got these. I'm just cutting questions, Justin. I don't know where they're coming from. They're just coming.
You need to hurry up because you know what? I got some questions too.
Right, so I got one more. All right. I would say almost
I have the power. Just saying.
The majority of us have this issue, right? You go up to your front door, right? And there's a little play in it. You're like, what the hell? And the locking mechanism won't lock, and then you got to jimmy and then turn it. Or if you get the new smart locks, right, it won't turn over because it has that play in it. Do you guys fix that issue?
Yes, and that is a huge problem because I can tell you probably 75% of customers' doors actually are not locked. They think they are, but that deadbolt, like you explained, is not fully extended. Right. And you can literally take a screwdriver and whoop. But yes, no, we do fix that. I mean, that's a huge problem with electronic locks. They're super critical. I mean, if it's not perfection, which is what we try to do, they don't work. I mean, they jam up. They're not locked. It'll say it's locked on the phone, and it's actually not. So.
All right, Justin, I'm going to shut up now. Go ahead.
So, what kind of certifications, what kind of like background do you have to have in this field? Is it something you have to like get clearance for, or is it something anybody can do?
You want to? I keep talking.
No,
so.
go. He's the actual locksmith.
I don't want to take this.
Wait, what?
There is girl locksmiths, but not me.
So you're a locksmith to us, okay? That's the way that works. That's the way that works.
So we're actually, I want to say we're trying to be the frontiers of making more certifications and I'll get into that in a little bit, but when I worked for a company, I was actually shocked. They just took your driver's license, and that was the extent of it. So I start kind of digging into it, and we got our licensing in Hillsboro, but there was not a lot of certifications and things like that. There was apprenticeships, which is what we're getting into, for future for us. But I wanted to go out there and be like, you know what? If there's not a whole lot of things that you need, I'm going to create that path. So that's why for all of our guys, we went out and we did the level 2 background checks. I figured let's go out and do that for our locksmiths, establish that, because it is important. I mean, we're going out there and you're trusting us to break into somebody's house. You know what I mean? So we established that, and then that's why with our in moving forward, we want to have the apprenticeship, where you have to have that. You have to have at least 2 years of being out as a locksmith. Just really, we're basically kind of creating the frontier or the groundbreaking rules of what a locksmith, I believe, should, go through process wise for not only ourselves as a locksmith, but for the community itself,
Yeah, definitely. I feel there should be some kind of definitely a bigger background check for something when you're breaking in people's houses and learning how to break in locks. I mean, you're learning everything about these systems, through and through. So you're going to be an advanced one,
Right.
Probably better than any kind of criminal there could be, what I mean? Lethal.
It's all we do, but I mean, there is licensing. I mean, we obviously have a license in Hillsboro, but Pasco is pretty lenient. And, that's why we're actually kind of making a change on the side too, is I want a state licensing, which is not in the state of Florida. And we're trying to make our voice heard in that direction too, again, because I think there should be. And I'm hoping with our school ideas and the apprenticeship and the licensing that we all come together, and hopefully Amerikey's the Harvard of locksmithing,
There you go.
Make my silent goals,
Make a standard in the community.
Justin, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like this.
I don't know. I don't.
You're gonna like this. As you guys know, I'm a little off, and I'm omnidirectional. And while I'm sitting here and everyone's talking, my mind's going bing, 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 bing. So they have some awesome videos, right? Like Amerikey, and they have like the guy's voiceovers like Amerikey. It's like really, really cool. And like they're walking in slow motion with their like bathing suits. So you guys got to check out their videos later. Well, maybe we can put it in the comments later. But I have an idea when you're ready for the next videos. And Justin, you're gonna appreciate this. Now I don't know if you guys remember this movie. I forgot what it's called, but Sean Connery was in it with Catherine Zeta-Jones. I don't know if you guys remember. They were both like burglars. And they had to like go through lasers and all this stuff.
Oh yes.
You guys should reenact that. Right? Like she's in that suit. She's in that black suit.
My God.
Dude, right? He's in a tuxedo and they're all like, and listen, like they're like Secret Service. Yeah. And then you go with your tape and you get the fingerprint off the glass. Like think about this. And then like you put it on the fingerprint thing and then you look at the camera like, it really doesn't work that way. Like this, like have fun. That would be awesome. Come on.
I feel like Paul would have to do yoga. We would have to put him in a yoga class.
Oh my!
I don't think you could like jump laser. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yoga
He's gonna have to show you. He's like, watch this.
Well, I got you.
Who's not
have
limber?
the Connery accent? Like, I'll show you, darling.
That is a cool video. I like that.
Oh man.
Hey, Paul, where are you from, anyways, originally?
Why do you hear my accent?
Yeah, I do.
He doesn't think he has an accent. He's like,
you do.
Why do you say that? I'm like, you do.
All right. So I'm originally from Pennsylvania, but quick fun fact, when I was in Pennsylvania, people would ask me, where am I from? I moved down here to Florida and people were like, where are you from? So I'm not actually sure where I'm actually from.
None of us do, dude.
Come on, I mean, literally. But I think what it was, to be honest, is I grew up in a city, kind of suburbs of the country, and I was there till kindergarten. So I think I learned some like city twang, whatever. And then I went to the country and graduated up in there. And I think that's where I learned a little other of this. So I got a little tweak of a little city, a little country. At least that's my story. I don't know.
Bianca, where are you from?
I'm originally from Chicago. But we moved to Florida when I was like 13, 14. And we lived in Hudson forever.
You're Floridian.
Hudson again, so yeah.
Yeah, you're a Floridian.
Reborn again.
I love Floridian.
Yeah,
Floridian.
for sure. All right. Go ahead.
I have a question. What did you do before locksmithing? What was the business before this?
I heard bartending. What else do we got?
We had a couple other businesses. We had a martial arts school for 10 years.
What?
So that we did together. When we first started dating, I was 19. He was 21. Within the first year of dating, we opened up our first business.
That's awesome.
I was telling you how we've always been in business together. But then when having kids in business, that's a whole different ballgame. But yeah, we had a martial arts school for 10 years. We had a fitness jewelry company. We had a smoothie shop. We had a fitness program, kids fitness program.
Wow.
Well, I feel like I'm missing one.
Holy crap. Note to self, don't screw with Paul. Not only can he break in your house, he can kick your ass.
You think he'd be doing those lasers pretty easily? Then? I mean, if it's martial arts, you know?
We're silent ninjas.
Dude, I never knew that story about you guys. Like, I could see Bianca as a bartender, and then Paul, of course, like, so was it martial, like jujitsu or just martial arts? Like, what did you do? I'm curious now. What'd you do?
Good. I mean,
so I was in Taekwondo since I was 6 years old. My parents put me in it, and then pretty much I stayed in it my whole life. Excuse me. And then in high school, I kind of, when you're in high school, sometimes you don't want to do anything. So I kind of got out of it for a bit. And then I met, Paul, and then we started doing martial arts again, but Taekwondo, and then we had other instructors. Excuse me, that did jujitsu and all the other stand-up and ground work, but we mainly did the Taekwondo version of it.
Nice. So Bianca could kick our ass.
Yeah, it was the other way around.
Yeah,
basically. I know I'm small, but yeah, I think that's why my parents put me in it, because I was a small little girl. I was always the smallest in my class, and they're like, okay, you need to learn how to defend yourself.
She's small, but packs a mighty punch. Small and packs a mighty punch. Got it.
I'll do a quick story on her kicking my ass, but
okay.
It was called Black Tatoya Kung Fu, and this guy, he called him a Sigun, but he asked us to go to the beach one day and wanted to train us on, supposedly it's all, what is it? Just the attacks are, all the attacks are deadly. Let's just put it that way. Like, every attack you do is you're just going to literally snap somebody's leg or arm, or like, it's very lethal. And he told us to, had me, take your shirt off and you guys got to do a little sparring. And I thought it was going to be fake sparring, and just kind of go back and forth. And he's like, no, I want like serious contact. And I'm like, what, serious? And so I was like, I'm out with her. And she goes and freaking side kicks me in the ribs. I'm like, whoa,
it was serious.
And I was like, okay, she just one time, boom, 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 and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So my whole like rib cage was like bruised. And
I thought we were training for real.
She beat the crap out.
I would love to see you guys get in a domestic.
Oh my god, yes.
I felt terrified.
Good. Remember that. Keep that in your brain.
Justin, could you imagine like Paul does something wrong and she walks in the house and he walks in the house and she just gives him the look like you're about to get kicked in the face?
Oh yeah.
That should be a TikTok. I'm telling you right now.
I know I'm short, but I can kick pretty high.
She can kick me in the head.
Oh my gosh, guys, I did not know that stuff, and that should be a video eventually, like just joking around, be like, you do know I have a background in Kung Fu, right? That would be awesome. We should do that. I still want to have, I still want to do, I know I said this privately, but I'll say it publicly in front of 30,000 people. I really think locally we should have like a business owner raising money fundraiser boxing match type thing. I think that would be so awesome. Like if we did that. Like listen, let's be safe, full headgear, the bigger, thicker gloves. But how fun would that be, man? Like business versus business, or the old man versus the old man. That'd be fun.
So you're talking about the big gloves, dude? Like
the bigger, not the ginormous ones like a clown, but the thick, so you don't get so you can't really hurt somebody. But at the end of the day, getting bopped is getting bopped, and Dude, that would be so much fun. And I would just love to call out some people. I'm just going to say that'd be kind of fun.
Call enemies.
Call out some people, but it'll be fun. And we're raising money.
We're raising money.
Yeah.
It reminds me, what's the movie where the guy puts on his lipstick and he has that hit list or whatever?
I don't know. Funny.
Was
that the pizza? Happy Gilmore? Not Happy Gilmore, but when that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember the guy.
He called me. He goes, "I'm sorry," and he goes,
Yeah. That's what that reminds me of. I'm gonna go to my list. And
listen. I definitely have been on some lists from high school. I called everybody and I said, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I remember that movie with the list, and and then he became his friend, and that was Billy Madison.
Yeah,
it was something. I think it was. Oh man,
it was Billy Madison.
Madison.
I'm almost positive, maybe not, but I'm pretty sure.
We know it's an Adam Sandler movie. That's what we know.
Yes. Well, anything Adam Sandler is amazing. So
I love Adam Sandler.
He's great.
Dude, you want to talk about a guy that has reinvented himself, and although characteristics over the years, like the same kind of character, but at the end of the day, like still relevant at like all these years from 19 years old through SNL. That's like stay relevant. A lot of actors, that does not happen. Like to stay that relevant. It's crazy.
Right. I still freaking quote Billy Madison every day almost, probably.
Well, you know what though?
Shampoo's condition. No, conditioner is better.
Looking at me, Swan.
That goes off on another angle, but I love my stepbrothers, man.
Oh yes.
I love stepbrothers.
It's a little
Did we just become best friends?
Love that movie.
That's
so much room for activities.
That's the best.
Listen, there is no angle. We're not going off in any different angle because this is what this is. I think it's great to show the human side, right, of business owners. A lot of people think that we're just machines. We should shut up. We should just work. But man, if you prick us, do we not bleed too, right? At the end of the day, like we go through a lot. We go through a lot and put ourselves through a ton of stress. And people will say, well, that's self-inflicted, right? You guys chose to be business owners. Yeah, well, then you chose to do this with your career, and everyone's got stress. I mean, it's hard, especially with kids. And I could segue back to that because it's a big deal, guys. I remember, and I know I'm the older, not old, but I'm old, right? Compared to you guys. You guys 10 years to my younger. I remember where I was 10 years ago with the kids, with the little ones, and man, they came everywhere. I remember bringing the car seat and the strollers and packing up your gear. And they don't have all the gear. It's amazing all the gear you guys have now. It's ridiculous. But like all the stuff, I mean, I remember that like event to event, show to show, appointment to appointment. Like, listen, guys, there was times, and I'll admit it now, I wouldn't admit it back then. Like I felt horrible. I'd pull up in the car, and back then, the iPads really weren't there yet. Like there was a strap thing around the headrest. Like you could pop a DVD in it. And like, I'm like, I have to go in this house. I'll be here. And they were 10 years old, but still like, I got to go on this appointment. That's a part of business, man. And it's kind of nice. It's nice that you guys have each other to back each other up that way, because if you don't have a support system, it's so hard, man. It's so hard.
It really is. And I tell them all the time, my mom is our savior. Like she watches our kids at the drop of a hat. Like if even this morning, we're like, Mom, we cannot do this at home because if the baby wakes up and starts crying, what am I going to do? I can't. Right. So at the crack of dawn, we went all the way, to Trinity, dropped the kids off, and then came over here, and she's in her pajamas coming out. She's like, good morning. And so thank God for her, because she just like,
that's awesome.
The only way we can do what we do is, my mom.
It's great that you have that support system. Think about the people that really don't have that guy. Like
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. Or shout out to mama. Shout out to mama.
Or the proud people, that won't ask. And that's that's something that needs to be talked about, because I talked about this yesterday with a friend of mine that runs a company, and she said that we're talking about ego and complacency and pride, and those three things can kill a company.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Among other things as well, but your pride, sometimes you just got to put it away and ask for the help. It's okay. And there's a lot of prideful people, man. They just, it will hurt them in the long run, and they will lose a job because of it. They'll lose a project because of pride. It's okay to ask. Like I had to learn that in my life, and I couldn't do that until later in my life, and still sometimes have a hard time with it. I don't know. You have that with your family, which is good. Justin, what's your thought on that?
I have a big thought on it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to admit they struggle at all. Like it is taboo in society to let you know that like, yeah, I'm struggling, man. I might need some help. It is especially for men, it's probably the most hard thing to get outside yourself and admit that you might need help. You're carrying all this freaking baggage and you're carrying all this weight, man. And you want to be like, I got it. I do it all the time too. And it gets carried away. And then you have to like reel it back in and be like, you know what? I don't have it all together. I can't handle all this. I need to like lighten my load and figure things out. But we have a problem with saying, hey, getting vulnerable and saying, dude, I'm struggling. I need help, mentally, physically, whatever that looks like, right. Financially, because we're supposed to be men. No men, and it's okay to struggle and it's okay to reach out and say, hey, I don't have it all together, right. And I think it needs to be talked about more in society with the struggling part, because like, man, our mental health is not getting any better in this world. And it's really suffering and nobody talks about it enough. And it's okay. Like I say it all the time, especially because, me, I'm in recovery. So, that's one thing is like, get outside yourself and just tell somebody, hey, I'm not okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and it's very
Paul, are you, and I might be reading Paul wrong, but to me, like, Paul's got some bravado. Like, Paul walks into a room. Paul walks into a room. People recognize it. He's a bigger guy, handsome dude. He's got some beef to him. Like, I don't know, right? Like, now, is it hard for you, Paul? Like, are you that guy? Like, it's hard to make the ask, or I don't know. You tell me.
For sure. I mean, I can tell you, years ago, especially, I mean, I would not ask for help at all. I mean, because it's just like Justin said, I was that, I can do anything. I'm a robot. I'm indestructible.
Right.
And it took, I think it's maturity as well, obviously. But, over the years, I've definitely realized that, like you said, it's okay to ask for help. I've got to the point where even instead of carrying 5,000 grocery bags in, I'm like, can you help me with a couple bags? but it's like, but that's a good thing because it's like, it's okay, that to ask for help, to get that help instead of carry all that luggage and baggage. But for sure. I mean, absolutely. And I think, especially when you're the oldest in a family, at least for myself, I've always, been the go-to for everything. When my parents split, my brother has a disability and things like that. So, I get all this baggage that's constantly on me. So me being the oldest, I get that. Me being who I am, I get that, so yeah, man, I mean, it's definitely been a struggle, but I've learned, and I've learned a lot from her, to ask for help, so.
Yes. Having a good partner, man, that's where it's at, and learning to ask. You have that, you just talked about, I saw Verge made a comment that was hilarious. She's like, that's me. I'm one trip person. I only want
one trip wonder.
Yes.
If you got to think about it, Paul, like, and I don't know, maybe it's my generation and the Gen X generation, you could be rolled up into that as well. Like, we were just told, suck it up, figure it out, and do it, right? Listen, I don't also agree with the pussification of America. I'm not going to get into politics at all, but at the same time, it's like there are times where we just have to suck it up and just make stuff happen. And you said the theoretical, bags and luggage, like you're not going to carry that all in. It just goes for business as well. You have to ask for that help once in a while. It's crazy because once you are able to not dictate, but collaborate and have other people join in, holy cow, it's like a weight off. And I wait over a decade until I was like, okay, you do it. And then holy cow, what a difference. It's amazing and people need to do it. So don't be afraid to ask, kids, is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Not just to you guys, but to everyone that's listening.
Funny you say that though, because even in our first business, like at first our martial arts school, we didn't want to hire anybody at first. We're like, no. People are going to steal our ideas. Let's not. And we wouldn't. And we were like so stressed out. And then finally we hired one guy and he actually stayed with us like the whole 10 years. And now he actually teaches our son. Yeah. But,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. With this company too, like at the beginning, he did everything himself and he didn't even want to ask me. I was still bartending. And then finally I was like, you know what, let me help you with calls, because he was trying to, he was a one-man show at the beginning, trying to do jobs and pick up calls. Like, you can't do all of that by yourself. Mm-hmm. So and then hiring our first employee too, he was like hesitant. He's like, no, I think we could do it. So after a while, I think Paul mainly learned, like, I'm okay with letting people do stuff for me, but Paul, it took a while for him to ask people, you know what, let's bring somebody in who specializes in this. Let's bring somebody in who specializes in this, and then when you have people, a team around you, yeah.
Yep.
It works.
Yeah,
I think there's another guy on this video right now that had a hard time giving up the reins. Mr. Justin McPadden.
Yeah. No, listen, it's control issues, man. I have serious control issues. And listen, when I first, like Tiffany, she didn't, I was doing all of it, everything. And oh my God, I would lose more work than I got because I just didn't want to talk to a damn soul. You know what I mean? Like after doing the work all day for whatever hours and you have to talk to people nicely, it's very hard. It is super hard. So Tiffany came on board and then she started answering the calls. And dude, my life is just that alone, like literally made my life like heaven. And then, just letting people learn, and be, find their own failures and their own things. It's very hard because Paul, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I've been doing this stuff for 24 years. I didn't know what it was like at my second year. I don't remember, what I mean? So I'm like, oh, nope. They can get from A to Z really well, but I want to stop them at like M and be like, be like, hey. I need to make sure you do it exactly how I say, It's hard, man. It's super hard, So
Well, I want to say something too, because Bianca brought up a good point, and she's like, I don't want to. In the very beginning, you said you don't want to bring anybody in because then they'll take your ideas, right? Now, listen, I have, like you said, omnidirectional. I think of stuff all the time, and there was a time in my life, literally thought the same way, and I'm like, I don't want to do that because I'm gonna give up my idea. Now my philosophy is I'm gonna give you every single idea I have, and good luck, because at the end of the day, what have I always say from day one? People buy what? People. It doesn't matter. I can give you the same philosophies, the same principles, the same secret sauce of how we did this and how we did that. But I'm going to deliver that message differently than you and this person and that person, And it's okay. Like, go ahead, put it out there. Listen, you got Nike, you got Reebok, you got McDonald's, you got Burger King, right? Like, it's all the same stuff, guys. It's just who markets it the best, who puts himself out there the best, and who people want to work with. Like, I want to work, like Paul, like, look at your significant other, Bianca, look at yours. Like, I want to work with you people. Like, you're just good people. Right? Like, you're good people. Like, look at Justin, like, and his wife. Like, those are the people I want to work with. You people look at that. They look at the family values. They look at this. They look at that. Listen, we all know we're not perfect. No one's got the perfect marriage, right? No one's got perfect this, perfect that. But it doesn't matter. They see the effort. They see you trying and you putting yourself out there. And this is why we encourage video content all the time, because it's the only truly way you're going to be able to connect with people, right? Is by putting yourself out there. You guys, Paul and Bianca, they're part of events. They go to events. They still slap the hands, right? They shake hands. They kiss babies. They meet with people. That will never ever stop. And that's the only true way. When you start meeting people one on one, it's a different relationship. Morris, I keep bringing this up because I think it's a great thing that he brought up about some of the new relationships in life. Are real relationships are truly like this, virtual. These are true virtual relationships. It's not something that, remember like the joke, like, you met her online. Like, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, it was a joke. It was a joke. Right now it's like, I met them online and I talk to them every day and I connect with them every day and I see how they live and I see their life. No, we haven't had lunch yet. We haven't embraced yet, but I've virtually embraced them and I believe in that person. That's why it's so hard to connect via video every day. And we push it. People forget and they become complacent, right? And that's a part of our growing together, is doing that. And I just want to say that Paul and Bianca are a phenomenal example of that. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yep. I have people that I have never met that are in like Canada or in Minnesota or South Carolina, and people that come on this, on my show for the Hope Shot. And I've never met these people, but we are tight, like literally tight. And because we're online, we are out there, they know who we are. We go live. We talk about like everything, you know what I mean? Like we're open book online, and that's what I think. The more you hold back, the more fake it is,
I was going to say really quick, I walked into a building the other day and I'm just going through life, guys, right? I had to drop off something. I was dropping off a deck. Anyway, I was dropping off something, and the lady did one of these. It was one of the clear glass things, right? So it's like she's looked at me and she goes, I'm like, okay, I don't know this lady. Crap, what's she gonna say? Like, you could just tell, like, she knew me. And she comes out, she's like, "You're the hub guy." And I was like, holy cow. And then it happens more often than you think. And then she goes, "You know what? What you guys do on there," and it's not me, right? It's us. What you guys do on there is very inspiring, and please don't stop doing that. When I hear that, and the outside world, never meeting these people are watching. People are watching what you do. So don't stop. Like, don't get all discouraged when we talk about this all the time. Like, when you get that one like, or it's the views. People are watching you no matter what. So don't stop. Don't get discouraged. Keep putting yourself out there. Keep putting your content out there. Keep being who you are, and you're going to help someone just by being who you are. And don't get discouraged, man. I know that's a thing, Justin, and it shouldn't be.
It happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because honestly, I think before the hub, I wouldn't post a lot of content because of exactly what you just said, Reagan. I'm like, no, this only got 1-2 likes, so other people aren't going to click like because they only see there's 2 likes. Right. And I just wouldn't do it, or I would wait until it was something really good, and I just wouldn't do it. But it took me a while from going to the hub and talking to people and realizing it doesn't matter because people are still looking, and it's true. And I do this sometimes too, and I shouldn't. But sometimes I don't like something and I just scroll. But I still see it. I still looked at it. Maybe I didn't like it, but people are looking. And that's why I do like, the stories and all that, because you can see how many people are looking. So you can post the same picture on Facebook and then the same picture on your stories, 2 likes here, but 700 people just looked at your story. They just didn't want to admit they did.
It's true. It's just like video.
Yeah, Facebook.
Like video, you can see the views.
Yep.
Facebook's
pushing reels. Reels. And the story's good too. I love the story. I think those are fun to do, especially putting in music. But like I did the same thing the other day, Bianca. I posted something. I was like, all right, a few people, whatever. And I put it on Reels. I was like, does that say 600? Like, you know what I mean? Like people will watch, and it's over 3 seconds. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing something wrong. People just don't want to push the stupid like button, which is crazy to me. It's an extra step. You're like, oh shit.
Hey, and God forbid a heart, man.
Right.
Right. It's an extra. When somebody hearts my stuff, I'm like, oh, they do care.
I feel like I heart everything. I always heart everything. So I want people to know, but honestly, it is, I don't know why I do it sometimes, but I try to heart or like everything. But when I skip over it, sometimes I feel bad and I go back. I'm like, no, like it. Even if you've seen it 5,000 times, go ahead and like it, because that's your friend's business. That's your family's business. Like, why not help them? Why not elevate them? You would want the same for your company. Do it to everybody else and help them,
for years, guys, I know we were running low on time, Justin, but for years, like, there was this mindset or thought process, like, you own a business, yo, bro, can I get the hookup? Yo, bro, can I get the discount? Right. Yo, bro, stop, dude, stop. Like, let's normalize. No, you're a client. I'm going to treat you the same way. Will I maybe give you a family discount on products or something to that effect? Yeah, because you're my friend. But at the end of the day, you should want to pay. You should I want to help you grow. I want to help your business succeed. I shouldn't ask for that 50% discount just because, listen, if it's just like your BFF that you've had forever, like, I get it, right? But acquaintances, yo, bro, can I get the hookup? No, you can't get the hookup. Stop asking.
They call me bro.
I feel bad when people give me discount. I'm like, please don't do that. Please don't, because I'm not going to give you But please, I don't like when people give me discount. I feel bad. I'm like, please let me pay full price for your services.
Yeah. No,
I don't mind giving discounts sometimes, but what I hate is when they assume
or they demand their life.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's we have those right now that assumes and it's like, oh my God, like we don't want to do business with you, even though we like you as a person. Like, we just what I mean?
And listen, don't get me wrong, guys. There's perks in business too, right? There's professional relationships that are reciprocal, that people barter. I've seen that, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's an agreed upon. It's an agreed upon moment, you know what I mean? Or if you're going to help that person help build their business. Like, I get that. But it's the acquaintances that automatically assume. That's what just drives me nuts. And then, like, you give them the bill, they're like, what? Yeah. like what? I did this for you. I helped you do this. Like, what? What's the deal? So I get it. As long as it's mutually beneficial and agreed upon, I get it. But the expectation of it drives anyone nuts.
So I want to ask, what can people do for you? What are you guys looking for as far as growing your business? How many people do you have? We have a little bit of time, so I want to kind of like, what are you guys looking for? What's your ideal person to get connected with, or what does Amerikey need?
So we're waiting. We got some paperwork that is an attorney's office for getting a storefront in Clearwater. So we're currently kind of slowly. I didn't want to jump ahead until it all gets kind of cleared, but we're slowly building the team for a Clearwater location. Definitely looking to branch out and I want to get a sales guy because we don't have that. It's just me, and my wife, obviously, but want to get a sales team kind of built and potentially marketing. But other than that, we're looking for technicians. We just picked up one a couple weeks ago. So we're probably going to get at least one more. So we're actually building a whole team, a dispatcher, a technician. And then I do want to get a sales team going and marketing. So maybe the 43 Inc., I guess. And, I will have a conversation. And I definitely want to get a sales guy out there too.
You know what's really cool, guys? You're growing in a time where people have fear.
Yeah.
You also grew in COVID when people had fear. Those are the companies that will always be around. When you grow and grow and grow during those hard times, that's a beautiful thing. A lot of people disappeared during COVID, and you guys thrived. You guys thrived. Justin, you thrived. I thrived because at the end of the day, what do? We all stick together, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so important as community. And that's why, like I said, I love our group so much because, and I'm, like I said, love the chamber, love the NIs. I love all that networking. It's all just different aspects of networking. I think our networking is a little bit more emotional, a little bit more attached, having these open conversations, having conversations about issues and problems where I think in a lot of times, that stuff just wasn't talked about. It was just, no, you don't talk about that stuff. Oh,
on,
Right.
Yeah. Beefy.
I still struggle with that myself,
because we're guys, bro. We're dudes, and dudes we're just can listen. Yes. What all and Paul and Justin, tell me if I'm wrong. I wake up. I wake up. I look around and I go, I could lose all of this if I don't keep the path. And I look around and I get in my car, I start my car. I'm like, I operate on a sense of fear, and people are like, why? And I'm like, I still have that in my mind because you know what, guys? It's been taken away from me. It's been I had everything in my 20s. There was a point in time where I made a disturbing amount of money in my 20s, and God took it away because of the arrogance, because of the complacency. And he said, you're going to start over, dude, because you didn't freaking get it. And then I got it back. I'm like, well, I'm going to get this back. And I was, humble about it. And then I did it in my 30s again. I'm like, shit. And God went, whoa. And I said, I am never going to do that again. And that's why I will always shout from the rooftops, the people that have helped me, the people that have been along my journey. And as much bravado as I have and ego as I have, I'm also at the same time very, very grateful. And I know where I am for a reason. It's the people around me. And this hub thing and Mojo and Hope Shot and the friendships and the relationships doesn't happen unless we're all right here, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for
hugging it out.
Yeah.
Hugging it out.
Sure.
I got a daily dose. I get a daily dose. And this is why I'm glad Facebook puts these little things, but there is a lady, and I just shared it. It hit me in my feels, bro. And it just reminds me every day. I get little reminders that tomorrow's not promised, right? So I got a reminder this morning that this lady, she had ALS, and 2.5 years ago she was fine, and she wanted to dance for the sun, and they had to help her because her body was just done. Yeah. And it's literally little things like that. And she even said it, tomorrow's not promised, and it's little things like that give me the reminder, be like, yo, that could be me. Yeah. I have no reason not to be grateful for where I am and what I have and what I do, and just be kind, and compassion and all these positive things. And that's why I think I love about our group so much is the positivity. It's it's so easy to be in a negative mind. It's so quick to get there too. And it's so easy for people to feed on it. You know what I mean? So let's feed on positive instead. And just remember where you came from, and don't ever look down on anybody else. You know what I mean? So
with success comes scrutiny, kids. And at the end of the day, you know, Paul and Bianca, you're growing, man. Your graph, if this was the Dow, this would be you guys right here. Like, you're growing, and you're growing by leaps and bounds, and you have the full support of your community. That's priceless, man. That's priceless. Like, I can go around the community and say both your names, Amerikey, and people light up. Don't lose that. That's how you're seen in this community. Don't ever lose that, guy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Definitely. we're gonna do some good vibes, but also I'm gonna be doing some chamber stuff with y'all soon.
Yes.
Yep. For JL. So
Chamber's great, man. Listen, Chamber, you're great, and we love you. Like, they've been a stronghold. They've been around for a long time. I know a lot of the board members that are there. The Chamber is great. It's a different aspect of marketing, but be a part of it. I encourage you today, go join your chamber. Like, you should be a part of that, because at the end of the day, you can see the generation of, I'm not joking, 20 years of the same people. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. It's time for the next generation to start joining that chamber, start joining those groups. Like, let's go. It's go time. Hey, George, Justin, do you have like a good thing of the day today? A little video?
I do. Ooh. I do. I got a little thing, not a video, but I got a little thing. James always be hitting it, man. He reminding me. I didn't have anything, and then he's like, "Hey, do this," and I'm like, "Okay, James." I didn't have anything. I get so caught up with life and so much going on, so many moving parts that I just, Anyway, so here we go. We're gonna do some good vibes.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. We are all about the.
So this past week, I know people probably seen, they had to in the hub. I don't like that view. But there's a teacher that was blessed this week with James and a bunch of business owners raised, what is it, $2,000, Reagan?
A little bit over that.
A little bit over $2,000 for Reagan. You want to explain it?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna brain fart his name. It's Geiger, right? Was it Geiger?
Yes, David Geiger.
David Geiger. Sorry, David. I apologize. David Geiger started a little movement, if you will, about helping teachers out. And then James actually came over to my house. He's like, "Bro, I got this video idea. We filmed it right outside the house." And he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna put my Venmo out there. If you feel that you want to help a teacher, let's help a teacher." And literally raised like 2 G's. James put in the first 450. A bunch of business owners, including myself, and a bunch of people put in money, and they raised $2,000. Then James surprised this individual with a phone call like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was kind of cool. He wound up knowing like the guy's husband, so we called the husband, like, "Hey, like, make sure your wife's up at 8 o'clock." It was a really cool moment. And then on the phone, James found out that the teacher's daughter was also a teacher, and then James was like, "I'm gonna give another $500." I was like, "What's happening?" And then this Saturday, I think everyone's meeting near the Target in Trinity, and they're going shopping for these teachers. So that's the background.
So and it all started with David, man. Shout out to David. He started this thing off. I think he owns Spur IT.
Spur IT, baby. Spur.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he started this whole thing off getting lists, and everybody was donating to that, and then it sparked James, and then next thing you know, it's like a tumbleweed. So that see how positivity attracts positivity, and it's a domino effect, just like the same exact way on the opposite end. If negative. So, so this is Catherine. She's the winner of that lucky winning contest. Yes. So educator friends, if you have not yet joined the group called The Hub, I highly recommend that you join. Invite a bunch of your friends and scroll through to see the amazing ways they've been showing that teachers and educators matter. As most of you know, last Friday, I went a shopping spree along with many other surprises. The Hub has not only made it possible for teachers to share their wish lists, but there are many people, business owners, taking time out of their busy day to acknowledge and appreciate teachers by making videos. I just watched a few, and every single one made me cry. I know this is a long post, but I just wanted to acknowledge and make people aware of this great group of people that are not only trying to help unite businesses, but also want us to know as teachers, educators, we matter. Thank you. So I just want to say teachers do matter. Like I said, when I did a video too of like when COVID happened and kids were back home, and we were like, please, Daniel, I don't know what to do. and like literally, like these teachers are just saving our lives, you know, little bit by little bit. And kids are hard to handle these days with TikToks and this, that, and the other thing, you know.
We could have the teacher conversation really quick. They're underpaid, right? At the end of the day, they're underpaid, and they're underappreciated. So if we could help them out just a little bit, then at least it's something. But we are grateful for you. We did put videos out there yesterday. Like I remember the teachers that touched my heart. I also remember the teachers that hurt me and said things to me that I'll never forget. So, you know, to those teachers, we tell them, like, before you lash out, like, just hold back, because it can really affect a kid for the rest of their life, man. It's really important. But we love teachers, and we're grateful. We're grateful.
Bianca was a teacher, so she mentioned.
Yeah, I was a teacher for a while. Yep, and I think you guys came to my party. I got my bachelor's degree in teaching, and then I'm like, and it's sad, you know, that money did hold me back, but it is sad they don't get paid anything, nothing like. And then when I was bartending in the summertime, they have to bartend or do something else to make money because it's just not enough.
Yeah. Well, hats off. I mean, you're a teacher, right? I mean, you're a teacher of locksmithing now. Yeah.
Now I am, yes.
She's creating her own school too. So there's that.
That's cool.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on here and hanging out with us and for waking up the crack of dawn and bringing your children to your mother, and shout out to mama. And that's called dedication, people.
Oh, yeah.
Hang up.
Oh my goodness, yes.
All right, guys, have a good day.
Bye.
Have a good day.